wasn't very pretty. See, I was born and raised in the slums of the city. There was a one-room shack that slept another children beside me. We hardly had enough food or room to sleep. It was hard time. Needed something to eat my troubled mind. Listen, my father didn't know the meaning of work. He disrespected mama and treated us like dirt. I left home seeking a job that I never did find. Depressed and downhearted, I took the climb. Now I'm doing fine up here on cloud nine. Listen, one more time, I'm doing fine up here on cloud nine. Folks now they tell me, they say give yourself a chance, son, don't let life pass you by. But the wild reality of a rat race where only the strong survive. It's a dog-eat-dog world and that ain't no lie, ain't no lie. It ain't even safe no more to walk the streets at night doing fine. On cloud nine. Hey, up on the You're as free as a bird in flight. Cloud nine.
There's no difference between day and night.
Cloud nine. It's a wall of love and harmony. Cloud nine. You're a million miles from reality. Reality. Wanna say up, higher, up and away. Cloud nine. You can be what you wanna be. Cloud nine. You ain't got no responsibility. Cloud nine. Every man in his mind is free. Cloud nine. You're a million miles from reality. Cloud nine. You can be what you wanna be.
All right, we are ready to go. Welcome, everybody, to the most anticipated night of the week. I am Graphic Man, and I'm joined by the four color fossil. I've only been saying that for 3 years. There's Jambo. He's always good to see him. We are joined by our special guest tonight, Black Box Silver and Bronze. Hello, Joe.
Hello?
And there's Eric Breen, as usual, ready to cause trouble. And our wonderful and lovely and talented foreign correspondent, Paulo Costa. It is good to see you. And he was just telling us some great race car trivia. He knows every sponsor for every car. So
Jimbo's company sponsors the 34 and the 38 at Furniture Racing.
What did I tell you? You don't get that on other channels. So,
by the way, I just put Eric to sleep.
Yes. Yeah. We'll wake him up in time.
Paulo knows more than me about the cars.
Here we go with Recess. Always good to see you. Very faithful. Speaking of faithful, there's Michael Taylor. Hello, Michael. Nice to see you. Horror Mike is here. And Horror Mike, she'll be joining us next week. So tune in for that. Good to see Mike. Michael Taylor is saying hi to everybody. And here's Gary. Nice to see Gary.
I see the horror Jackson Roykirk in there, too.
Oh, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. More hellos. They're always very friendly. That's great. And here, speaking of the Jackson Roykirk, what in the world does he want? Eric still has his mask off. That shot's fired. Poor Eric didn't even have time to duck and cover. And
he can have that one.
Look who got home early tonight. Hello, Trusty. They must have threw him out. Okay. Yeah, see how startled they are to see Trusty. And good, Marania's here. Always good to have my one moderator. That's probably why they behave in the chat so well.
Yes.
That spinner rack has to work. Hello, Spinner. We all miss you.
Hey, Dave.
There's Hotel Orloffs. He's taking the night off. A lot of the fossils are having to take the night off. Everybody's just working their fingers to the frazzled bone out there. I actually got a phone call with Meyer Greenblatt. He has been surfing this whole time. He was hanging 10. So he's been having a great time. We'll be seeing him down the road, of course. You skipped trivia tonight. Well, you made the right choice, Trusty. We'll try to reward you because we have a great guest with us. So, and while Horror Mike is out there in the chat, I received this great gift from him because I was on the Captain Strange Life show and won this wonderful PS art book. Wanted to brag on Mike. It got here very fast. Very excited for that. He also had some great goodies there. I can't wait to get into this Golden Age book. Yes, Jimbo, there's a poor woman in this bondage there.
Yes. Miss
Terrible,
Matt.
isn't it? And he sits in Mr. Monster. Always good stuff here. And he sent me a signed copy of his movie. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Look forward to doing that this weekend. Thought I'd show a little bit of Unexpected. That always catches them off guard. My favorite joke to make. And I know that it's now November, but we're getting ready to see a lot of snow. Any week now, and y'all can't wait for that. And there's bound to be a couple of volcano eruptions. So. There could be some dinosaur attacks. You never know. With the year we've been having lately. And we are joined, ladies and gentlemen, by RDV. RDV.
Wow.
Hello. We are showing some Unexpected.
Well, I was expected to be on here.
Exactly. It all works out.
Man, it's like you just went to my comic book show today and just started grabbing stuff off the wall.
Oh, I'd probably love their wall. And here's some nice ghosts.
Wow. They got some Dell stuff up on the wall by me. They got some, what was it? A Zorro, a Daniel. I think one of them was Daniel Boone.
Well, what are they doing on the wall? How come they're not in your house?
They're out of my reach and out of my price range.
Oh.
Micah, can we get one of those for Jackson?
A ghost for Jackson?
Yeah, it's one of those things that hides the face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a cloak. There we go.
Oh, man. It's so weird not being one controlling the stream, so I can't see anybody behind stage.
That's a good one.
It's like being a passenger in a car. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, when you're on some other stream, you think, oh, he's ignoring the chat. I better go touch a few buttons, and you can't do it. So,
I'm not even sad. It's like getting to see who's in the background,
Yeah.
And then when people leave their cameras on, it's like they forget they have their camera on.
Yes. Here they're having a whale of a good time.
Hey, it's Lizzo.
I don't think I've ever seen this many ghost stories in one spot.
Yes, all the ghost stories.
Eric, you need to get out more.
Eric, you're in a cemetery. You see ghosts all the time.
Oh. He's going to make you glad that Jackson's here.
I'm already regretting a few of my life choices today.
Yeah.
Speaking of a black cat. You think I'm Zach now?
That's a nice one, Jackson. I got to give you props for that one.
This is the stuff he just has lying around. He's like, I got this, I got that. Now the question is, did you buy these when you were a kid?
No, I was busy buying Funny Animal
So you
or
got
the
these.
Fantastic Four.
So these are more like when you got in your 20s, you started collecting more.
Yeah,
of these.
yeah. Yeah, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
only do so much when you're a kid.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if you're lucky, you have that parent to take you to the grocery store and you'll get that Donald Duck comic.
And I'm going to end on an Archie comic
Wow.
that's very scary because Big Ethel is Frankenstein.
Mhm.
Poor Jughead.
Yes. All right. We'll get back to the chat. And we'll be going to our special guest here pretty soon. I'm letting him know that Joe, you'll be up very shortly.
Okay.
I must have missed a couple. All right.
Are we missing a few fossils tonight?
Yeah, about 6.
I was like, there's a vacancy.
Oh yeah.
They're too old. They can't handle sugar anymore.
I told Breen, like, let me know if there's room.
Yeah, they had to go lay down. There's too much.
I told him,
Halloween candy.
I said, there's 10 of us are never even awake at the same time anymore.
That's right. Uh-oh, Zach.
Fossil and
Yes.
training.
Well, you got another 20 years to go?
Well, I've taken some advice from Eric, and I've been trying to get those bigger books, so when I get to his age, I can read them.
Yeah, well, read them before your eyes go bad. So, all right, Joe, we'll let you take it away. It's good to see you. This
All right.
makes, I think, Joe's 3rd or 4th visit to our wonderful show, and
His
he
fourth
always
debut?
makes it more wonderful. He sure does.
All right, thanks. So I got a couple of non-comics first. I found this. I thought that was a really cool cover on this Young Readers Railroad Stories from 1953. It's kind of like a Hardy Boys book. It's a kid's book.
Pretty cool.
And then lately I've been picking up Radiocraft magazine. And in 43 through 45, Alex Schoenberg was doing the covers, and they have these beautiful painted covers. This is just one of the issues. It's got the 7th War Loan up there, and it's really cool to find those.
Is that all about taking care of two-way radio, or?
Yeah, it's about. It was called Radiocraft and Popular Electronics, and it's a lot about military. In this time period, it was a lot about like walkie-talkies and radar and all kinds of radio electronics. And for 2 years during the war, they had these beautiful covers by Alex Schoenberg. And this is one of my favorites with the flag. And then, you guys ever heard of Belda Talking Comics? So this was back in the late 40s. There was a company out of California that made a comic book and a record that read the story to the kids. And I don't know, there were about 7 or 8 different titles they had. This is one of them, Chirpy Cricket. And I found another one recently, Grumpy Shark. And when I found this one, they also had the record sleeve with it.
Wow.
So no record, but the record sleeve that came with it. And then this was this is 1947, and then this is the 1948 version of it.
Wow.
So it's hard to get them both. Yeah. So
You see how grumpy he is.
yeah, well, he's not too grumpy over
No.
here, but this one he looks a little more grumpy. And then lately I've kind of been on like a Beetle Bailey kick, and this is the first appearance of Beetle Bailey in comics.
Wow.
It's Dell 4 color number 469. And this is his 3rd appearance. This is 4 color 552. which was his third appearance. And you guys remember the General Half Track?
Yes.
This is the first appearance of General Half Track.
Oh, cool.
One. So that's pretty cool.
It's a key.
Yeah.
And then, it went on, and this is issue number 58 from volume 2. And this is the first appearance of
Otto.
Otto.
Yeah.
And what I found really interesting is here is this is a giveaway from the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. And
Yeah. Have you checked the number on that? It's a weird number, like 62.
Another one is this one says
okay.
volume 1. This one says volume 1, number 1. But look at the sergeant there. Look at his face, and look at it here. See how it's a little different? Like,
Right.
this is the one I remember from my childhood. But when you go back in time and look at like how Mort Walker first started making him, he had a little bit of a different look there. The body was the same, but the face was a little bit different. And then this is another one that's a complimentary copy from the Cerebral.
That must be the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, this one says number 78 in it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you guys ever heard of the Big Boy?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was a restaurant, and they had like
Promos.
On the West Coast, it was Elias Brothers, then it was Bob's Big Boy, and on the East Coast it was Shoney's.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are actually 3 of these that have like train covers on them that I've been seeking for years and years, and they're just really hard to find. So I got this one recently, and this is from the Elias Brothers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And what I found out about this was that there's there was a different mascot. Like this is the West Coast mascot, and the East Coast mascot looked a little bit different. So there are actually, for many of these issues, there are 2 copies. There's a West Coast copy and an East Coast copy, and the mascot is drawn differently in it. Here's Don Winslow, number 37, which just has this really cool, like, dragon cover on it. Really cool. And then you guys ever heard of this? Keyring Comics?
Mm-mm.
No.
So this is really interesting, and these are tough to find, but I don't know if you can see on my hand over here, there's like a little hole up here, and right down there, it's like a hole punch.
Okay.
They came like that, and there were 5 comics right here, 5 comics for 10 cents. They were each 8 pages long, and they came with those hole punches in them already, and they were just 2 colors. Like this one is blue and yellow, and the other one might have been like orange and gray, or red, or red and blue, or something like that. It was 2 colors. And so there are 5 issues, and this is the best one. This is the coolest cover. So I've been looking for that for years, and I just recently added that to my collection. And then I got some ones. Here's Flash number 106, the first appearance of the Pied Piper.
Wow, that's an early one. Nice.
Yes. But it wasn't 105 the
Yes.
first issue. So this is his second issue. And then I got an early Green Lantern. This is Green Lantern number 8.
Wow.
Cool.
Pretty nice.
Is that Kane? Gil Kane doing that?
Well, I believe it is.
I don't know. He did a lot of the.
He did a lot of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, looks kind of. And
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Here's Hulk number 104. This is one of the few ones.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's one of the few ones that I really still needed to fill in my Hulk run. I don't have the first 6, but when he started in issue whatever it was, 100 or something.
102, yeah. That's an awesome cover, though. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
She did.
And then I guess I'll just put a couple more here. This is from 1939. And this is the Radio Orphan Annie's Secret Society. So this was like a booklet that the kids got. that told them how to do the decoder ring when they were listening to the to the radio show.
She's part of the New World Order.
Yeah. And it's right down here. Let me read this to you guys. It's really funny. It says, notice this book is private property. This book contains important confidential and private secrets and rules that are intended for 1939 members of Radio Orphan Annie's secret society only. Finder is requested to return to owner, name above, without opening. So,
I know what her secret message was, though.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Drink your
Ovaltine. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's Smiling Jack, number 3.
Wow.
These are great. These.
Yeah.
Steve's missing out.
Yeah. The Smiling Jack, the stories are great. The art is great. They always have these great covers. And I guess I'll just end with this one right now. Here is Sarge Steele, number 2.
Hey.
Cool.
Nice
Very
cover.
good.
All
How
right.
does it look like a famous actor?
Yeah, this was it kind of has the feeling of like James Bond kind of stuff. Not the actor, but like the the stories and everything.
Yeah.
Some nice looking books, Joe.
And Joe, those were great. I'm just admiring that copy of Hickory you got up there. If they had made more covers like that, that series would have lasted a lot longer.
Yeah. I found this in North Carolina at this shop for like $5. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. There had been one on eBay that I think either Alan, the comic collector geek, or Collecto6 had picked up. It was several $100 slab. And then I found this one on a trip through North Carolina.
Nice
All
hunting.
right. Very good. We're off to a real fantastic.
I wish I'd known you were going to show some Beetle Bailey because I would have looked for the covers of the Brazilian-made Beetle Bailey magazine, which had some original stories, including some very interesting parodies.
Well, you should do that next week because I'm a Beetle. I'm a fan. So
yeah, I'll look for it.
all right, comic book frog.
All right, I'll
you
try to
see
keep
the
it short. I'll try to keep it short, sweet. I don't have too many. Some of these you probably guys have already seen over the past couple of months on Cheeky Puppet Show. Subscribe there if you haven't done so. All right, so I'm gonna start with some of these I got today, and let's start some modern books real quickly. And you guys know cringe modern books, but Breen got me hooked on this. The Columbine series with the monsters coming out of the movie monsters coming out of the screen. So had fun with this. Another series I just been getting into has been Godzilla and Here Be Monsters, or Here Be Dragons. This is actually Godzilla with basically Sir Francis Drake and like Pirates of the Caribbean kind of crossover. So if you like those kind of genres, and I usually wouldn't put them together, but it fits. You got a Jack Sparrow character telling the tale. Another series I just picked up today, and I'm not bringing if you read this yet. This was Red Light #1.
We didn't get it. We won't get it till next week.
It was actually really good.
Because we're not getting the other series that I guess the ones we haven't gotten either one like the first 2 or 3 on the first week.
But here's some of the interior arts. So
I had a question. Why didn't her husband draw that comic for her? I wonder.
Well, I looked this up. She's not related to Frank Cho.
Oh, I thought that the article said it was his wife.
No, in the back, and I think back here, at least the back here, she's not related whatsoever to him. It says,
Okay, well that would make sense, but
Frank Cho had a wife, but they divorced back in 2009, and he's been dating someone else. But no, this is no, she's not related to whatsoever. Which is confusing because he's doing a cover. But
Jambo said, "Can you put that back up for a second?"
Which one?
He did.
All right. Man.
Jambo had fallen out of the stream.
That brought him back.
Yeah.
I love post credits. When I say post credits, I mean like the '90s Superman stuff. And you got the original Louisa Simonson. You got Brett Beating, Dan Jurgens, Tom. I think it's Tom Grummett.
Yeah.
And Jerry Ordway coming back writing stories. It's just basically it's a modern. It's from them. Cyborg Superman's attacking current Metropolis in the present, and they find because Perry White's in a coma right now because current storylines outside of this book, and they discover he has a journal. In the journal, but he kept back when Superman who supposedly died. He knew he was going around interviewing and trying to find information about the 4 different Supermans that came there during the return of Superman. And it is just fun. Steel's in there too as well. You get Superboy. It is just a trip down memory lane. Some of the stuff in the back too. Eradicator, but like I said, this is my favorite version of Superman. I know some people like Silver Age, or they like Rebirth, but I've always liked this version, the John Byrne version. All right. This was from last week too. This is kind of cool. This is obviously a facsimile. I don't have it's for $7, but dude, I love getting these facsimiles.
Right now, that back there is not real.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real, comic book Frog. That's
We get that.
Well, dude, do you think I can afford the original? I need to borrow money from all 6 of you.
Keep going.
When I say six of you, one of you has to pay twice.
Yeah, you might have to expand that circle.
Why is it $6.99? Does it have extra stuff in it?
It's about 68 pages. It's got all the original stories and ads.
Yeah, it's original. Yeah, it's like DC Comics back in the day had like multiple stories in it. Then there's Submariner, Spider-Man.
That's great. Black costume.
Very cool. Nice cover.
Rocketeer. So trying to get the rest of these.
Nice.
Here's some more.
Yeah.
Still blows my mind that it's actually the original cover because I thought it was faded the longest time.
Yeah. There you go, ACG, folks.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
ACG, where all the stories are written by the editor under different names.
I mean, if they're good stories, doesn't matter.
No, he wanted to convince people that it was a big comic company.
Some of these I haven't got a chance to read yet. I'm going through a whole stack.
That's a you know who wrote those Millies?
Gene Colan.
That is the artist, Denny O'Neil.
Denny O'Neil.
Oh, well, Denny O at the time.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful all-star Western.
Followed up by Backlash.
Yeah.
This book has been sitting on the wall in my shop for about the past 3 years. No one's touched it, so I figured it was there for a reason. So I finally just grabbed it. The family. Then I got some. Finally got my Hawk the Slayer. It was a watch Hawk the Slayer movie, the sequel Garth Ennis wrote, all collected. Took about a year for me to get the book. It was supposed to come out last year. Got this today.
Oh yeah, good book.
You know, so I'm always excited to get all these older trades like this.
Yep.
This came out today.
Yeah.
And then I have Frank Miller, Electras, with Bill Stojkovic, interior art. So,
that story is still very good.
never read it before. Like I said, when I find it in trade.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
I'm not sure what this collects as far as I know it's X-Men, but I mean I'm not sure what it's supposed to be.
I'm sure some of the Thomas Adams issues.
Yeah, the Neil Adams run.
I actually got it for cover price.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, couldn't pass this up. It was there. I'm like, I get it. Trusty, if you're still there. Marv Wolf and Gene Colan. I've never seen it in a trade format. I've only ever seen the single issues. So I was happy to get
that. Was that a hardcover?
It's a hardcover.
Wow.
I know, right? Yeah, never.
Yeah, don't think I've seen it.
I'm not sure when they released it. It doesn't see in here. In the inside, but then I got these.
Yeah.
Second one.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Hello, I'm a collector.
Then there's these. Nice hardcover bound.
Yeah, Venkman, I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it to a different audience. I think this is so cool, all the different stuff you're branching out into.
Yeah,
agreed.
5961. I can't remember if at that stage it's already Chunky Superman, because Wayne Boring was drawing the newspaper strip, and he always drew Superman like he was 250 pounds.
He just left a buffet.
Almost done. I feel like I'm taking up the whole entire time.
Did you save anything for a second round?
Oh, are we doing a second round? Did not know that.
Yeah.
Because I was also planning on doing a thing offline reading tonight on my channel. That's why.
Oh, well, there's only 6 of us here. You probably still have time.
Well, I can hold on. I got a couple for next round. You want to?
All right. Well, Froggy, that was fantastic stuff.
That's some really cool stuff.
Very good
Up there,
yeah,
young man.
Now
something tells me
next year.
We better phrase it's not heard here very often.
Yeah. We better run the Jambo while we still can. So
the hamsters getting tired.
They are.
My arms are getting tired from doing all that stuff. I carried out like 40 pounds in just trades today.
Well, I got a nice War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
First appearance of Killraven in his thigh-high go-go boots.
Good for all occasions.
Yes. You never know. You'll be fighting some crazy monsters.
I loved that run.
Xenozoic.
Xenozoic and the Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Some good stuff.
Which I first saw as a cartoon, and I had no idea it was a comic until several years later.
Great dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. Those covers are great.
All I see is the girl.
Did
There's
someone
dinosaurs.
point this out?
Oh, I wasn't looking at the girl.
Ooh, I like that. Nice.
How come you're not noticing the dinosaur in that one?
I see a giant.
Now
torch.
that one's a cool dinosaur, yeah, cool monster.
That's a useful torch, right? Green?
Yes. Yes. Nice joke.
It's number 274.
Oh,
These are awesome.
Those are great.
it's got a shocked Robin. Yeah, if you'll look, a lot of those have a shocked Robin in one corner or the other. He's always same position, same pose.
Yeah.
My favorite are the Robin and Peril.
We call it shocked Robin. So
What the hell else is he gonna do?
Well, usually he's getting thrown into
80
the
pages.
fire.
Some newer stuff. Marvel #1.
You know we're skewing old when that
Yeah.
counts as newer
See,
stuff.
yeah, well, Froggy's here and he can learn. That's new, Froggy. That's very new.
What I missed it. What's new?
It's from the 70s.
1,
It's
77.
from the that's very new to us.
I would love to have
30 cents. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
shop has the
Yeah.
DC archives, or not the DC archives, the Masterworks.
Here's a subby.
Yeah.
But they only have volume 2. They don't have volume 1. So I always
Doc Strange in the costume.
Jambo, did you get that Ms. Marvel off the rack back in the day?
I think I did. I probably got it out of like a $1 bin or a quarter bin or something back in the day.
I mean,
bought that
now,
when it came out.
now she's on the rack, but it doesn't have a rack.
There's some nice Nick Cardy.
Yeah, that's
Titans.
nice. She's talking to Peter
Changed
Parker.
your costume. Some Planet of the Apes for Shannon if he
Yeah.
was around.
Great.
I love those movies. They used to play them on the 4:30 movie all week, Monday through Friday every year.
They were awesome.
My favorite was Beneath the Planet of the Apes. You get to see like what's left of the cities.
Yeah.
The first Howard the Duck.
Jambo, who might be the cover artist on that particular?
I don't know.
I think it's Stranko.
You can see up the girl's nose there, so I'm not really sure.
It probably drove him crazy not being able to do an upturned nose on the man thing.
I was gonna say the man thing he's in on.
He probably tried.
Right?
Well, this is definitely a new one. Marilyn getting her skirt blown up by A-bomb.
She just had to let one. Never mind.
It was an interesting anthology.
Quite a one.
Those are great books.
I was told this is a dignified adult show.
Yes.
You were told something. You were
Is
told
that all?
already.
All right.
Those were great.
That
Thanks,
was.
Sarah.
All right, Paulo, you got anything for us?
Yes. Before I share, I just want to show off this a couple of the stuff that I bought at the comic show in Portugal. A graphic novel adapting Frankenstein with art by Jorge Bess.
Is it in
This is the
English?
follow.
Holy crap!
No, this one's in Portuguese.
Oh.
It is, but there is an English language edition. It is available in the United States.
I'm just making a joke because I never see anything English from you. It's always
Yeah, but it's quite thick and it's got amazing black and white art. Let me see if I can show. Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the way this guy plays with with blacks and negative space. This is a follow-up to Dracula. There's a which I bought last year. The next graphic novel is already being sold in France, and it's adapting The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I was hoping for a Jules Verne, but Victor Hugo will do just fine. And also, I bought all 3 of The Sons of El Topo by Alejandro Jodorowsky and Ladron. And here, this is a follow-up to Jodorowsky's movie from the 70s, El Topo, and it's pretty weird, a pretty weird Western.
Well, there's weird tales, there's weird westerns.
Yeah, and Ladron is drawing more like in a European style here, although in a few pages you can still see the curvy layouts. This is volume 2. If I can show the cover. Okay. So yeah, with the coloring in it, and the inking it does look more European, but all the detail that Ladron is famous for is still there. And volume 3, they were having a special on buying all 3 editions, so I took the opportunity. But this is all pretty weird. So it is a Western, but it's very weird. All right, so let's now go to my.
While you're doing that, I just learned Bobby Knight has passed away. Eric, you knew that?
Yeah, I found it right before we went on.
Wow.
Definitely on the coaching Mount Rushmore.
All right.
That's good, Vidal. Okay, so I went for something different this time. As you know, in France, they don't think comics are for children and retards, and mainstream. And mainstream magazines do special editions just on comics. So I got all of the covers from the magazine Paris Match that had comic book themes, and Paris Match is sort of the equivalent of Life magazine in France. So this issue has Corto Maltese by Hugo Pratt. This one is a special about Tintin's anniversary. This one has Asterix.
Nice.
And it has pages from the 12 Labors of Asterix, which is not an actual comic, but it's adapting the animated movie. Gaston Lagaffe, which is a spin-off from Spirou. This is the 60th anniversary. Valerian. So came out with the movie.
Avatar. Wow.
One about the 40th anniversary of Goscinny's death.
These are little. Are these like magazine size, or are these like digest?
These are magazines, proper magazines. They don't actually they don't have comic stories inside, but it's all about the comic.
And Goscinny, if I'm pronouncing it right, this was the writer of Asterix.
Yeah, of Asterix. You'll also find here this little critter over here is no good. He also wrote Lucky Luke for a while. And this is from a children's book series, not a comic, called Little Nicholas, Le Petit Nicolas. And here it is, Le Petit Nicolas, also 60th anniversary. This is Pilot Super Pocket. This one is a digest magazine, 260 pages. It had short stories, joke pages, and a few complete stories, all from the characters that were published in Pilot. This one has Asterix, but it also has Lucky Luke. There's Tanguy and La Verdure as well. This one has Lucky Luke, but also Submerman, Achille Talon, also more Tanguy and La Verdure. Because Tanguy and La Verdure was also made by Uderzo, the artist on Asterix, but has a more traditional, realistic style. Issue number 3, more Tanguy La Verdure, more Lucky Luke. They went with the crowd favorites on this one, because it was something that you could take to the beach. They were smaller. This one is no good. Is no good's catchphrase was I want to be Sultan in place of the Sultan.
What are the prices on these individually?
Nowadays, I wouldn't know. They're probably not very expensive because they're a bit off the radar of most collectors. But if they were kept, because there was if they were kept, they may not be in such good condition because they're pretty thick.
But I mean, what was the going price selling them? So I don't see a
At the
price
time.
tag.
No, 3 francs, which I don't know how many dollars. That'll probably be
3 hot dogs.
10, probably $10, $10 when it came out, but 260 pages.
Nice. For $10, that's a steal.
Yeah, this one is a Achille Talon, some blueberry here, and Philemon, number 6. Suburban, Philemon, number 7. This one has Valerian, also Achille Talon. Number 8, more Philemon.
This one has a donkey.
Yep, and number 9. This one has blueberry as the main. All right, so I'm going to stop now, and we'll have more for the second round.
All right, great. So that takes us up to the great Eric Breen.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
Oh, he is great, but like a great grandpa to me.
That's, I guess, better than being gray. I too am going to show some stuff that I picked up today. Absolutely dreadful. Enough said. There's no way this could possibly be as cool as those old ads, but Count Dante's series.
Amazing.
I saw it, but I didn't pick it up because I knew you would.
It's fun. I said I couldn't resist. I mean, if you've been doing this long enough to have bought books that actually had those ads in them, you're old. But it also, I couldn't resist. This came out last week. We only got the blank cover, so I had to wait till this week. This is excellent. It's James Tynan, who, I know he loves himself some James Tynan, but this is really good. Joe Corallo recommended this.
It wasn't a bad interior art on that, though. That's why I passed it up.
It's the only thing, it's kind of like like if sketch met painting, but my only complaint was that Lucy and Mina looked too plain. But I think the art's very good and the story was excellent. It's a 4-issue series. Highly recommend it.
I hope we get more Universal monsters.
I think that's the idea. And Dark Horse did this 30 years ago with there was Creature of the Black Lagoon, a Frankenstein, and a Dracula, and there might have been a mummy.
And they walk into a bar.
But I'm going to echo Venkman there. This was excellent. And something he pointed out that I missed when I read it. There's a scene where Perry's getting out of the cab, and it's got checks, and it even has a sign that says "Go-Go checks." So I figure, Rod, if you're watching, that's an excellent.
Like I said, it's like I look at Jerry Ordway's art, and it hasn't changed. It's still great.
No, and unfortunately, John Bogdanove still isn't very good. But neither here nor there. Another good issue, co-written by Sarah Frazetta.
Didn't read it yet. I got it.
Art could be better, but I think it kind of fits the style. Because I think they were going for like the early issues of the black and white magazine.
Look at Dark Shadows.
Or they just weren't that great of artists yet. And this is just a lot of fun. And it's basically a horror movie basically comes to life and starts terrorizing the small town that they had this premiere of a 50-year-old lost film. And there's the ragtag team of misfits that have to save the day, which we've seen a million times before, but they actually killed a couple of people in the group in the second issue. And
spoilers.
Well, it's not, I think anybody's going to actually run out and get it on my say so.
I did. I didn't get a chance to read it.
All right, I'll hold off then.
You can talk about tonight, brother.
Venkman showed this last night when we were doing the top 5 of of what we were supposedly getting.
Your shop had it. Nice.
Yes. This is the first. I started reading the forward. If all goes well, this is the first of a series. And this has the first 8 issues of Adventures into Terror.
Cool.
And yeah, I said it's apparently that Marvel has licensed Fantagraphics to do these, and really looking forward to this because I said I am an absolute mark for those things. So, and someday I'll actually get through with the first one and open the second one of these. So that's
Hey, you got that done as well.
no, that's cool. And I'm going to show some 80s and 90s indies here.
Oh, Boris, yeah.
When this series was good, which was the first one. There's number 9. Not a big fan of photo covers, but the only things that
I mean, what's great about it, sometimes the artist can actually match with the photo covers, which is really cool.
Here's the Buffy origin. Here's one that Jam, I don't know if you got this back in the late 90s, but do you remember that?
I do remember that. I probably had or have that somewhere.
It was actually entertaining. It was the way it was set up, all these golden age superheroines.
Well, I thought it was the Dixie Chicks.
Here's the ghost story from the comics greatest world. We have 16-week weekly event. Crossfire number 6. And we jump to number 25.
Never picked those up, but I always thought the covers looked really groovy.
They're actually they're good. Here's a series that I had subscriptions to this in Soul Searchers and Company. So it's basically Richard Howell's passion project. And something I learned recently was there was a guy that used to write letters to almost every Marvel comic. This guy's name was Ed Via. And Claypool Comics was his company. I didn't learn that till a couple months ago. Here's an issue of Deja Thoris. Yeah, I don't know what compelled me to pick that up.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I couldn't tell. It was out of focus.
Yeah, Dan Agents number 2.
It's dark in the store.
Number 7.
Hello, Robert.
I'll be happy to blame the screen. Dragonfly number 7.
Well, it might be the giant star to your left of you, like that's glowing off the Avengers poster. The light.
Yeah. Well, as soon as this round's over, I'm going to go into it.
Well, it's the other direction. When your hand went.
Man.
Number 4. Number 9.
I just noticed something. We complain about Marani having a Christmas tree up. You have a Santa hat on that thing for like the past 3 years.
Well, the basketball isn't alive. And it's Femforce number 64.
All right.
Number 66. Yeah, 67. Yeah, people that have never read AC just assume it's all cheesecake, but there are a lot of public domain reprints.
Wow, Sue Storm wishes she had that.
Yeah, it's true. I said that's
Classic stuff in there.
Yeah. Number 99. And we're gonna close.
Jackson's complaining here.
Yeah. You can pause the stream.
Yeah, he's not talking about the book. He's talking that I obscure my face when I do it. So,
well, he can still pause the stream.
Up yours, Jackson. And then a mini series within a series. Here's 102.
Poor Jackson. He just wanted to admire your books, I'm sure.
Are there any guys in this series Seriously.
they're superfluous or they're unnecessary. Yeah, that's it for this round.
Or is that the modern one has all guys?
All right, looking good. I guess we're back to me now. So I will show. I think I'll show a romance title.
What?
Here's a nice here's woman picking flowers. Isn't that? Oh no, it's unexpected. Something bad's gonna happen.
Gosh, got all excited for a second.
Yeah.
Is it
yeah.
the Spanish Inquisition?
Yes.
No one's ready for that.
What do you got? Like get 200 issues of that?
Yeah, there was over 200.
Jeez, how many do you have?
Oh, about 110.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Are you starting from the most expensive to the least expensive?
No, just whenever I can find it. Good few. I like the 70s, the Bronze Age horror the best, but
That's creepy.
Yep.
Steel tie.
Now this was scary because this guy's picking out a ring, so that is very scary, fellas.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why is it giving me snakes?
Some of you know of what I speak. Now here's Ripley's Believe It or Not #1.
Now it's the point of the stream where you're all just quiet because you think we're all gone. Nice.
It's a good cover.
It's a little witching hour.
They're all in near mint condition. Well, not mint, but I mean they're all in pretty good condition. Usually when I come across those at my store, they're $5 and they're just eaten by a dog. If I do find one, it's $50. I'm just thinking okay, what's the difference between that and the other one that's just torn up? That's cool. Can I tell you who the artists are in these?
Usually George Wilson.
Okay.
Not always.
I was gonna say because a lot of these I always come across look at my comic shop and they don't list them at all.
Yeah.
It's whoever, if you happen to know the person.
Go to comics.org, the Grand Comic Database.
Okay.
They do a much better job of figuring out.
That's cool.
Credits. Hey, he tried to hang on there.
Yeah.
He did.
You almost made it.
Yep.
Was he wearing a red ring?
Yes. Yeah. She's wondering why he's late.
Is there any happy endings in any of these? Does everyone just die? So I look at these, I'm thinking it's reminds me of Tales of the Crypt.
Well, I'm sure they'll take that any day. That's probably what they were hoping for.
Who is usually the artist on these horror books? Is it just a couple guys, or is it just
Eric might know this. I don't know if that's Nick Cardy or I don't think so. Later on, it was Louis Dominguez. But
Yeah, I can't tell.
I mean, they're really cool how they draw them. Way different than today's artists. It's also nice seeing a book that doesn't have a digital art on it. tell that somebody hand drew that.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Anytime they have a contest, if you stay in this house, you'll win money.
Mhm.
Do not go in there.
Unless you are a Ghostbuster. Or John Constantine.
For the boxing fans,
Hmm.
okay.
They should just release it. They should release an issue that had nothing in it.
Now this I know is Louis Dominguez.
Mary Jane Watson.
Yes. And the old gumball machine.
Eric is not alone. You're all out of focus. You look like you're all underwater. Is it just me? It might be your internet. I mean, right now.
Really?
Well, no, I'm not you. I'm just saying it might be his internet, Roberts.
Yeah, so you guys all look.
Sometimes YouTube, when you're streaming, everything can get real blurry. Just hit your refresh. You'll be about 20 seconds behind us when that happens, but
I see
Yeah, it's not
Eric-
going to make us any better looking, but we will be clear.
I'm watching Eric in HD. I'm not happy.
Then no one should be.
I wanted a 4K. Where the fuck is 4K?
Yeah. It's family stream.
all right, Froggy, do you have to run real soon? We can put you next if you want.
Well, I've got some time.
Okay.
Like about an hour and a half.
Oh dear. Oh yeah, that's plenty of time.
So I don't know what time you guys go to. I mean, I stay up late. I don't know how long you guys are up.
So we
we're-
start nodding
we're-
off at about 9:15.
Yeah.
So
He's much older. Yeah.
I'm already tired.
I'm already tired. Yeah. All right.
All right, we'll go to RDV and then we'll go back to Joe.
Alrighty. So these are books I got at the comics auction.
Okay.
And it's really cool stuff. Getting quite a few runs of some of these. If Jackson doesn't want me to hold the book up too late, too bad. I love this. You guys have read this before, Micah?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just love this. I wish they would have continued more with this being a one shot.
Yeah, I liked her. I liked Iceman.
Right? Dazzler. So, let me know when you want me to stop. Got quite a few.
Oh, do another 15 or so.
Okay.
Yeah, there's how do you pronounce his name? Weeks or Wyacek or
Wyacek.
Wyacek.
The fact you actually can recognize the cover artist, that's crazy. Like,
I remember those stories. They were very good. Right after and the Armor Wars 2, right, and after that.
The thing I hated the most about those Iron Man during the Silver Centurion period was the logo. It was very simple.
Yeah.
I remember that Avengers cover. Rage.
and She-Hulk in a bathing top.
Well, She-Hulk didn't really wear a costume. She was dressed like she was in an aerobics video.
I mean, there was a poll yesterday. Who's better, She-Hulk or Tigra? I'm like, both.
Oh, She-Hulk. I don't like hairy legs.
I don't like women who can hold and cradle me.
Yeah, I don't like furries.
So
Yeah.
Hurries. Well, she had an image inducer. You would have noticed.
Oh, yeah, it was an interesting arc.
Yeah, I feel like She-Hulk would just crush you. And then we get some '90s bad girl.
Well, She-Hulk did crush it. What do you think happened in the bedroom with Wyatt Wingfoot?
Yeah, you would think, Curator. I never cared for Rage.
Nobody did. That's why
I think they
everyone forgot.
established the fact that he was mad. Okay, we get it. Yeah, I remember that.
Defenders.
Yep. And the rest of these are just kind of like some Supermans.
With the mullet Superman.
Yep, mullet Superman.
Right.
Whatever I can grab on the early stuff like this. Plus, it's part of the Triangle era.
Bogdanov.
Like I said, I'm on 93. If when it comes to Superman titles, I've been reading them up. So yeah. So yep.
And I'm with you. This is to me the best era of Superman.
Yeah.
No disrespect to what came before. A lot of disrespect to what came after.
No, but the best part about post-crisis Superman was the supporting cast.
Yeah, I agree. And they said they made Clark the focus, which I wanted to see the whole time that I've been reading.
Against them, Micheline. Guys, we're back to some Marvel.
I even liked Cat Grant, and she'd add everything set up for her to be annoying, but she definitely wasn't.
Well, they gave her character depth with the custody battle for her son.
Yeah, but even the sports writer on the Daily Planet, even that guy was sort of interesting.
Here's some cheesecake for you, Breen.
Oh, you talking about the revamped version of Steve Lombard?
Yep.
Actually, Steve Lombard was my favorite supporting character of the Silver Age.
Catwoman.
And I remember the translator took a lot of liberties with Bebo's dialogues.
Yeah, and then I just got a couple more things that I can switch over. But original Casino Royale.
Mm.
Here's my Aunt Uncle.
All right.
Found those at Half Price Books. And then there's, you saw the other one, the X-Men. Here's Steranko.
Very nice.
Yeah. I bought it not knowing exactly what it was. So I was like, oh. And then I opened it up. I was like, oh, it's Steranko. And I don't know why I didn't dawn on me because I know that cover before. I've seen it so many times.
Okay, cool.
My shop's got a whole bunch of these. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have an online presence?
Don't think so. I mean, I don't think they sell stuff online. But all right. And then there is. All right.
There you go.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Right. And then they had it at my shop, so I got it.
Oh, you picked me. Pull the trigger.
Yep.
Damn.
It's just so absurd in there.
You know, when they made that, or when they made those back in the day, they probably never thought anybody would make a hardback copy of all those.
It's just so. I'm looking at it. It's like, there's one like this, but then he's like, he's like oh, here comes a woman. And he's like, and the woman looks just like him. He's like, wow, the women were ugly back then.
Yeah.
I love it. So then, of course, that's volume 2. They had volume 3.
Wow.
So, yeah, I couldn't believe it was still there.
Sadly, I can.
General Fat Mortis free. It's so absurd. Yeah, I said I saw it there and I figured, you know what, I might as well just grab it. And then I think that's it for right now. So if you want to switch to somebody else.
All right, good stuff.
Man.
All right, let's go to Joe.
I just got this from the Night Tiger.
Nice.
It's
Signed
triple,
too.
yeah, triple signed.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. And this is from France from 1951. I can't read it, but I thought that was a really cool cover.
You're making Jambo jealous.
He is.
Reggie number 4 with this
Oh, very good.
cool fireplace cover there. And Life with Archie. I don't know the number on this one. I think it might be like 7 or something. It's really low.
Nice.
Really cool outfits they're wearing. Gasoline Alley.
Wow, man.
It's it looks like newspaper kind of. There's lots and lots of like the old Dick Tracy comics where there's just lots and lots of panels. But I thought that was a really cool cover. It's really of the time, right?
I love the old stuff.
Yeah. And then this is, I just got this just recently, Unknown Worlds #1.
Ooh,
I've been looking for this one for years.
that can't be #1.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm thinking of their other title. Yeah.
Yeah, they have what? Adventure
That's right. Yeah.
into the Unknown
Forbidden Worlds.
and Forbidden
That's
Worlds.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was the third one, right?
Yeah.
So that was what put about what 57, 58
I
thereabouts.
think this is 61.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's definitely, around that time period. But that's the first
That's
issue.
awesome. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's such it's bright colors and everything.
Yeah.
Nice train cover too, Joe.
That's
Well, that's why I was looking for it.
Right?
Yeah. And I could never find it. And then there was a copy available. This is a newer one. Well, it's not really new, but this is, do you know who the artist is who did this?
That Tim, what's his face?
No, this is Stephanie Buscema, the granddaughter or niece or something of John Buscema.
Oh, cool.
And she does this kind of, cutesy art. And for 13 issues of this run of Vampirella, there was this variant cover where she did it. And I've been trying to collect them all. And I had 2 to go. I got this one. I think I paid $5 for this. Sometimes they go for like $30 or $40, but I'm just being patient.
Wow.
I could find them for like $4 or $5, but they're really cool. Bunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I love the Bunny comics, and this one's a really cool cover.
I love this channel. I'm just learning. Like this exists. This exists. Wow.
Really thick, too.
What number is that, Joe?
16.
Okay. I
Cool,
don't have that
right?
one.
It's great, Harvey.
And then this was a really cool issue of Betty and Veronica, number 269, that I've been hunting for a while. I love this. The story doesn't have anything to do with the cover. I don't know why they did this. Maybe I have no idea why they did it, but I just thought it was really cool.
That is a neat cover.
Romantic Adventures. What number is this? Is ACG number 1. It's always hard to find the numbers on these. They're right in front of you, but they just blend in.
Yep.
And this is Romantic Adventures. And they had another, maybe Lovelorn or something like that.
Confessions of the Lovelorn.
All right. This cover is on an earlier issue of that with different colors. But what's really cool about this cover is if you look out the window over here, you see the train like going along the mountain there. Well, she's on the train. She's on the back part of the train, looking out at the front part of the train.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to look at the number right there above the romance. I'd be like in the left corner or right corner.
Yeah. It always takes me a second to find them on ACG. And then I got this.
Oh.
Ziff Davis had some great painted covers. And they're usually, this is really cool with the good girl and the it's kind of like Buck Rogers kind of feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, this is a really torn apart, but they can be pretty expensive when they're not. So I'm just happy to have this one.
Robot stealing the girl.
And here's a Weird War. And this is the zombie. This is the that's Hitler in there. It's a Hitler story. They've like reanimated him. It's a really good story.
It's Zach.
Yeah, cool cover, isn't it? And
like, what are you talking about?
You like flamethrower covers?
Ooh.
This one I got for a steal.
Wow.
This popped up on my comic shop, and it was $50, and they must have mismarked it because there was a lower grade of it for like $300.
Blazing Korean battle action.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Definitely would be canceled today.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
All right, now I got the trifecta here of PT 109. Here's the gold key.
That's cool.
PT 109. Beautiful cover, isn't it?
Never seen it. Amazing.
All right, and then this is, what number is this one? I don't know the number. It's also hard to find the numbers on these, but War Heroes.
Wow.
Which is also tells the story of PT 109. And I was talking about these on one of my videos, and this friend of mine on Instagram, his name's Lyle Hobson. He's from Canada. He sent me this one, Combat Number 4, which is the PT 109, the movie, right? This retells the movie.
That's so cool. Because I like that when Marvel is doing that with some of the movies, they do like the 2 issues or adapting it. Now that I'm learning that Dell does a lot of that too, I'm going back and trying to collect some of the Dells.
And this is my third issue. I have 3. This is my third issue. I have number 1 and the one with the beach scene, and then I just recently picked this one up because it was a good deal. They can be pricey, but you can also find them for good deals if you hunt. It's a Christmas cover, and it always says up there, "Can you dig it?" Yes, I can dig it.
I first heard about that comic. There was a website called Sean Baby, and they showed that Festival Jackson and Hansi, the girl who loves the swastika.
Yeah, yeah. This is great. There's not that
Paulo.
many. 7, 8 issues, something like that.
Which one do you think Zach has?
All right, I got 3 things left. This is Buzz Sawyer, and it's got newspaper prints in it from, I think, 45 and 46. So this is volume 1, and I just I love that cover, especially that sultry woman there with the tiger behind her. I thought that was really cool. Magazine sized.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, this is a magazine size, and it's black and white, and it's got 2 years of newspaper strips in it, and there's several volumes. And this
I gotta get that.
This is not comic related, but just something I picked up recently, which I think is really gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Which is there was in World War II, this Sea Power magazine I think it was by the Naval Institute Press, and just around the same time that like Schomburg was doing the covers on Radiocraft, they were doing these beautiful painted covers on this, and I just thought that was a really cool piece of art there.
Yes.
Yep. And then lastly, it's not the right time of the year for this, but here's Rural Progress magazine. I don't have a board in here, so it's hard to. There. All right. It's the second issue of Rural Progress from 1934. 1934.
Sold that with a bottle of Coke.
So would like a paved road count as rural progress in those days?
Yep. Pretty cool stuff.
That's cool.
Man, that was great.
So that's it.
Thanks, Joe. That was fantastic stuff. I've got to find that Buzz Sawyer.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Buzz Sawyer was still in our newspaper when I was a kid.
Yeah.
when Eric was a boy.
When I was a boy.
All right, Jambo.
So long ago.
And then we'll go to Paulo.
Okay.
I don't know where to look first.
Yeah. All right.
I just picked up a copy of that.
Yeah.
You want my address? I'll take it. It's awesome.
Cat fight.
Yeah, that's a great cover.
Some Adrian Barbeau
Yeah, remember that movie?
getting carried by the Swamp Thing.
There's a couple things about that movie.
Best two things, right?
Yeah.
A little black magic. I think he's having second thoughts about his surgery.
Yeah. Damn black magic.
I just had these laying around. These some Justice League.
That's cool.
Yes, it was. Curious Joe. Yes, it was.
It's like everybody's had some problems here.
A lot of times I just love the covers more than I love the story. The covers were just fun.
A little worse for the wearer there, don't they?
Wow. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
She's
we're
got a
Aquaman.
crutch.
Crutches. Yep, her
Of
eyes.
course. Yes.
Adam Strange.
Mr. Taylor.
That's some Vampirella.
Nice. Harris is my favorite runs for Vampirella. I like the Warren magazines, but I love Harris. A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the
definitely
Harris
the
ones had like
Warren stuff, but yeah, this is
page
not
spreads
bad.
in the center, which were like posters.
And by the great one here, Mr. Frazetta.
Nice. I think I say great cut Gil Kane. I'm like, Gil Kane did a Vampirella?
I don't think he ever did. And
It
we're all the
scared me
poorer
too.
for it.
Scared you too.
A pipe down host.
Yes.
Here we go. Here's some Warren action.
Now I need one. I need a nose shot.
I didn't pull any cane.
Smart man.
Man.
For Halloween, there's Big Spider. Even though it's over with.
Are any of these like Rudy Newbrands at all on covers? Or do you only do interior?
All right, Jambo. Very good. And
Thank you,
now
Matt.
we see what Paulo has in store for us. Remember, he promised some Beetle Bailey. So
Part 2
No,
of the slideshow.
I know.
I'll do Billy Bailey next week.
I know. I'm giving you all the time.
Yeah, I was. Sometimes I'm looking for. I don't even know what I'm looking for, and I run into things. And this is a French fanzine from the 1990s about superheroes. And this is it's called Heroes. This is issue number 0. Cover has the Ghost Rider, and it just kept on going. Issue number
Wow.
Yeah, and it just photocopied the covers without permission, and yeah, here they have an interview with Shiner, but they used a Batman movie poster.
It looks like the George Clooney version.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be Keaton though.
And it was a big one, 36 pages for a fanzine about superheroes in France.
Predator, Punisher, Wildcards.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Wildcards at a comic adaptation.
Nice.
Punisher by Ramita, and they have an interview with Ramita Jr. Number 8.
Wow.
Yeah, they managed to interview Dave Stevens. I think Dave Stevens may have been a guest at Angoulême that year, because they love Dave Stevens over there.
Who does not love Dave Stevens' art?
Number 10 is the Savage Dragon.
Yeah, you knew the next one was going to be a bit of a letdown.
I know.
And special number 1.
I mean, Jambo had to excuse himself.
X-Men. So this actually lasted for a bit over a year. So kind of an interesting foray into the world of fanzines in France, because it's not something that I even hear about much. I know they have their indie artists, but something like this dedicated to superheroes was pretty rare.
Well, that section where they had the Banshee, that was some of the best, in my opinion, X-Men stories.
Yeah.
The Dave Cochran going into Byrne is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
almost as good as what they're doing today.
So this is a late 70s magazine called Téléjunior. It was not a supplement, it was sold like this, and it featured stories made in France with the characters that were popular in cartoons at the time.
I like that layout with the film, and you got the hosts over there on the right.
I like Spider-Man and Grape Ape on the same cover with Hong Kong.
That's the thing too.
Yeah,
Hong Kong Phooey
and Dick Dastardly at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to get squashed.
Yeah, this was number 2. This is number 3. 17. Gold. I think Goldorak was the name just for France. And Tarzan. Battle of the Planets. And number 33.
So these are all those ones you've come across, you own?
No. There are a few websites that have a lot of information on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this one is like the French version of the Grand Comics database called BDTech. That's where I usually get the covers from. And the magazine section is not complete, but they do have some pretty out there stuff that doesn't have an equivalent, a cultural equivalent in the U.S.
Wait.
And having a magazine made specifically for children, showcasing comics and cartoons, and it was sold in newsstands.
All your information comes from a database. You don't remember it. You just look at it on the computer.
Oh no, he does. He just says that to make us feel better.
Oh,
no, I get an idea. I look it up. Then something else pulls me. And then I notice something. Then it connects with something else that I remember, and then I go look at other stuff.
I've been there before, just not with comics.
Yeah, it's a very chaotic mind that I have here. And here's a different magazine.
As long as you remember to eat.
Can you see the question, Paulo?
Are these available on email? They might be, but you'll have to go to ebay.fr, and you'll have to look for the names.
And these aren't translated in English.
These are French.
Yeah.
Yeah. Telerama was also another magazine that had occasional covers with comics. So they do this one with Hugo Pratt, but they also have an interview with Sting. So these are general magazines.
That would have been so crazy going into France, like when these are coming out, and just like seeing all this the comic stuff they're finally getting translated.
Yeah, the best-selling U.S. comic over there a few years ago was The Walking Dead. That thing had numbers that were pretty crazy.
It's a very popular show too.
Yeah, here it's Blake and Mortimer. Which is always even today it's still a popular series. And Lucia, which is what if Garfield was written by Ben Stein? And that's it.
Okay.
For
Good,
an
good, good
fee,
stuff.
I will read them to you. Yes.
But you have to pay in euros, right?
Nowadays, probably better.
Yeah. All right. Jambo, you gone twice?
Yes.
Everybody's gone twice except Eric. So, Eric, take it away.
All right. So I'm gonna just kind of side bring Venkman here.
Oh, let me just answer here. The Frog. The ballpark price depends whether we go over an hour or not.
I should probably save these for next month, but I figure I'll show them again next month, and we'll have all forgotten.
You can show me now, and I'll forget. I'll get it within like a few hours.
Yeah. I may forget by the end of the
Literally,
round.
by the fifth book, I'll forget what was the first one was.
There's Walt Disney's Christmas Parade, something or other.
Nice.
Oh, number 7. Yeah, I finally figured out a way how to get these in these Comic Pro line books without splitting them like Lizzo's jeans.
Scissors?
No, you just have to line them up a certain way. But I mean, I'd split a bunch of these I got to the point where I was using the old bags.
I was gonna say they do sell the thicker bags now for Silver Age.
Yeah, I love the Comic Pro. They're like poor man's Mylars, but they're very glossy. I'm sure in a couple of years they'll bubble up just like the rest of them. But so Walt Disney's Vacation Parade.
Very good.
And here's another one.
You're telling me, you're not. You're just collecting these now. You're more into these.
There's thanks to these gentlemen, it has expanded the parameters greatly.
We're working on them.
Yeah, well,
he's working on me.
I'm a finished product in that regard. So
there you go.
Wow.
I want to say I've shown this one before, so like I said, I might have shown all these. Who knows? Western Roundup.
Oh, nice.
That was the other one I saw. It was a Roy Rogers Dell comic book.
Yeah, there's these are cool. Nice. That's a lot of good reading in one of those. Here's World's Finest.
Cool. Batman Fights Back.
I know I showed this when I got it from my comic shop, but again, like I said, that's
wow.
Has to be shown again.
Love is a dirty word.
Because I said this mate with this, I now have all 17 because I'm counting that Love Stories that was part of the DC 100-page thing. All 1,700-page DC romance books.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, that lofty goal in life. All right. Now let's like Keith Lee, let's bask in his glory.
Nice. DC, where the action is, well, it used to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to see the action they've got going on over there now. There's Adventure Comics.
Yeah, actually, they got going over there is hot.
What would you know about that, Jackson?
Bizarro.
Little advertising for their Jerry Lewis book too.
There's a Supergirl one I saw they had where she's half robot, half Supergirl on the cover. Yeah, that one well too.
Number 301. Archie's Jokes. Avengers 55.
Nice.
This one should look familiar or sound familiar. We read it recently.
Sadly,
on the Kiki Puppet Show, Fridays and Sundays.
7:15 p.m. Central.
That's another one. And Venkman, you know why I really like Comic Pro Line? Because it actually makes this book look good.
Wow. I have a facsimile of that.
I said this book is in god awful shape. There's Betty and Me 17. Just a few issues away from the one that's worth hundreds. Speaking of books that have seen better days.
Okay.
Nice.
And and for all the times we've seen artists draw Captain America where he's hiding the shield in the back of his jacket on his back. So I want you to look at that cover.
It's got a little captain.
Then tell me how that works.
Captain Morgan, Punisher.
Fun fact, that's the first time Frank Miller drew the Punisher.
Really? I guess that came out before, I guess, was it? Because I know he drew Spider-Man Annual 15, Punisher was in that, but I guess that was a year or so later.
Sorry about that. Jamboy says when his hamster died.
Oh, man.
I'm concerned because he said another. So
this can happen from time to time. Yeah.
How many hamsters does he have?
I don't know how many are left.
Not enough, because it's not enough to get us through this. Another cover from the great one.
Reen's gonna pull the excuse on one of her readings. I gotta go.
You could almost see up the monster's nose.
Which one?
Oh, that Conan.
No. I mean, which nose? Crypt of Shadows number. I love this cover. Yeah, speaking of covers, I love this. Probably my favorite Daredevil cover of all time.
Nice.
Love that. And here's number 78 and
Man Bull.
Here's number 80.
Nice. Ow. Gladiator. Nice.
And a couple more to finish this up.
There we go.
My humble opinion, part 3 of the best. This was the best story Miller told in his Daredevil run, was the Return of the Kingpin.
My shop has the Kingpin statue now from the Daredevil Netflix show.
And then 182. And that will do it.
That was me back in the day, my 20s. But I was hugging a porcelain bull.
Yeah, Maranya. Unfortunately, the people that really helped me sell this just weren't here tonight.
Yeah.
And it just booted themselves off.
Nice.
Paulo, I want to thank you for the absolutely no help you were.
He never looks to me for help. You notice that. So.
We were supposed
okay.
At this point, you glued your hand to the table like a protester.
This was my hand. Here's my mouse. I was all ready. Boy, you don't want to hear it. It's a really squirrely one. So, all right, we can go to RD back to Froggy, unless Joe had anything else.
I have a few more if you want to see them. I mainly brought those 2 stacks.
Sure, man, I don't know how long you're available to hear tonight. So if anybody has to leave early, they can go ahead of me.
We're going to go to Joe, and then we'll go back to you, Froggy. So
I have like a half a short
All right. This is a great series, Mighty Crusaders.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
The Fly and the Shield and all that.
Plus, Joe's got a lot more cooler books than I do.
We can all say that about him.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Wow.
Did you love that show or what? Yeah, I loved it.
I didn't know they made a comic of it though.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. This is kind of a Halloween themed one too.
Is that like 2000s or is that older?
2002 Airwave Comics.
Okay.
Joe, did they ever do one in the 60s? I know they did some Bewitched. Was there any genies? Do you know of?
Yeah, there was.
Okay. I thought so, but I wasn't sure anymore.
Yeah, like Dell or Gold Key, one of those, like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. kind of cover stuff,
Okay.
like the Bewitched, stuff like that. I don't know if I showed you this one last time I was here, but this is a Star Spangled Comics 123, which is the second appearance of Dr. 13.
Man.
And the last, so his first appearance was 122. I have it up there. And then he was in it till it became Star Spangled War Story. So I'm trying, there's only about 6 issues, and I was able to get a few of them. There's 128.
Robin and Tomahawk. Stories.
And then I was also able to pick up 124. But these are really tough to find. He's called the Ghost Breaker or Dr. 13.
And spirit with that costume.
He's like he tries to disprove people who say there's ghosts. He goes around and tries to, prove that it's phony baloney and stuff. And here's Marco Polo, the adaptation. Isn't that
Wow.
That's cool.
Gary,
cool cover,
is that the
right?
Gary Cooper?
Based on an American International picture. So yeah,
Gary Cooper. Wow.
Yeah, right. Cool cover, isn't it? With the colors and everything.
Sure is.
I didn't
Never
even
seen
know that
that before
existed
either.
till I saw it. And then I got some Uncle Scrooge from Gladstone. This is number 286. And you guys know about this part of the run where
Yep.
Yeah.
it was the life and times of Uncle Scrooge, right?
I have
And
the Portuguese edition.
So that's like 1880. I'm trying to.
Does that duck have a beard?
What's that?
Does duck have a beard?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
It's not the first one.
And here's
I've already seen Donald Duck clean shaved. Okay.
1882.
That was a riverboat captain. That wasn't Scrooge or Donald.
Oh, okay.
Here's
Scrooge was the young
1884.
duck behind him.
Yeah.
'Cause
See,
it's-
there's Scrooge. He looked more like Donald back then.
Yeah. And
They're set in the time period of Theodore Roosevelt. So
1885.
I just never seen a duck with a beard. It just blows my mind.
I found out about this. There's this guy named Kevin Taylor. He's got a YouTube channel and Instagram called Trophy Comics. And he talks about award-winning comics. And he said this was like the best story that year or something.
yeah, probably.
1887.
It's not just set in the time of Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt actually appears in one of the stories.
Right. Well, I didn't want to give that away. It's a young Teddy Roosevelt. He hadn't been president yet.
1896.
Is he a person or is he a duck?
No, he's a person with a big black nose,
Okay.
like the
And
Beagle
then,
Boys. Yeah.
Okay.
1897. I think I just need one or two more to get this whole story.
Yeah, that one
right.
he did like an extra version of the story.
1902.
Sam, if you know the answer to that question, let me know. Because I don't.
1902.
Wow, 2 issues.
And then apparently this one
Yeah,
is
Wow.
um,
that
They
sets up
won't-
a Karl Barks story. Yeah,
and they won't this sets up a Karl Barks story.
right. Because there's a story called Voodoo Hoodoo when that zombie is trying to get to Scrooge, but he's been searching for over 50 years, and he finds Donald thinking it's Scrooge, and he injects Donald, and so now Donald will have to deal with the poison or something.
And does that happen after this?
So that's like a precursor to that. Set the whole thing up.
if you know what the number is, can you like send
It's
me
a
on
four. It's a 4-color. Yeah.
Yeah, send me on Instagram. But apparently, this one, because of this character here, they will not allow it to be reprinted.
Yeah, that's Bombi the Zombie.
Yeah.
Is that the Titanic behind him?
Yeah. Right? Because this is 1909 to 1930.
Wow.
And then the last one I have, I don't know if this is the last one, at 1947. So I think I need one or two more to, that's all I have. I think I need one or two more to get that storyline. But Mike, if you can at some point just tell me what that other one is, on Instagram, I'd appreciate it.
You bet.
Wow.
Good stuff, Joe.
Thanks.
Always like seeing that. Okay, Froggy, take it away.
You can just call me the RDV when I'm not in puppet mode. Unless you really like call me that.
Well,
you want to be called something entirely different?
The reason I've done that a couple of times because I wanted like somebody like Michael Taylor or something who may not be familiar with you, who you are, blah blah blah, and you use that in the chat. So
yeah, I'm just a random person. I'm not a historian like Paulo. I'm not a guy who just watches sports. Was on every live stream he is like Breen.
But you can become a historian.
I could.
Yeah, you just gotta want it.
I'm just quickly becoming broke first.
That too.
Yeah. So I love these Carl Castle books. Yeah. Notice a lot of my stuff is from like the late 80s. 90s. No regrets.
It's hard to believe those are 30-something years old now, though.
It's hard to believe that I'm 38.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. Like I said, I like these original Hawk and Dove stuff. Apparently, Mike Barron did a volume 3 or volume 2 of these. Did it run in the 90s? A little miniseries.
Don't know that I remember that.
Changed it. So they're like rock. They're like musicians.
I definitely don't remember that.
Didn't last that long.
It was a miniseries. Let me check.
I think it was like a 4-issue miniseries.
Mike's Amazing World.
No. A lot of Superman.
Oh yeah, 1997 miniseries, the new Hawk and Dove.
Yeah. I came across it in $1 bin. That's how I discovered it. I was like, "What's this?" It's Mike Barron too, and I was like, "What?" So,
yeah, I can actually see myself reading this.
Which one, the Mike Barron one?
Yeah,
I read through it. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but I mean, it was just out there. Yeah, I love how this connects. And then that's next issue.
Oh, that's cool. Put them both up side by side.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't think I noticed that when they were coming out.
And then what's even cooler is you get to 747. There you go.
What number is that?
It's a 747.
That's cool.
So.
Should have had a plane on there.
Yep. Are we getting here?
That's a nice cover.
As you said, I like some of the the modern stuff covers, but I love a lot of the older stuff too, like you guys were showing off. These were cool. I never knew these existed until he showed them off one of the auctions. I was like, dude, like Exiles, Malibu Comics.
Yeah, that's the weird part. The Juggernaut stayed in the Ultraverse for a while.
Right.
Well, did you see him in the latest X-Men book? He probably wishes he were still there.
Ooh, why did he? Was he in the Hellfire Gala?
Just watch Richard's latest video. It's hysterical and it's sad at the same time.
The last time I saw him, he had instead of having a brown costume, he had a white Juggernaut costume. It was weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
So, and then Zach, if you're here, don't look.
Poor Zach.
All right.
Poor White Hood wearing Zach.
What was that you said in the latest reading? That Zach hates Tom Palmer.
I can't remember. We see a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Every reading has a Zach joke now.
But I can understand why. As an inker, Tom Palmer is very good at spotting the blacks.
Yeah. These are cool.
Those were cool. That was a neat idea they had there.
Yeah. I mainly get it for the backstory too, because it has he talks about. Actually, no. This actually, yeah. A lot of times, I grab these older books because I like the backup stories more than I like the main stories.
If I remember correctly, the villain switched bodies with the heroes in that series, and that was kind of the plot of that.
I love this. Doctor Strange teaming up with
109.
And then we got here.
The Gibbon.
Craven the Hunter. And then we have the Marvel Tales version of this, and I actually have the original issue.
Really?
Yeah, it's put away.
It's like 112, isn't it?
Something like that, I think it is. But it's got a piece of the cover missing out. But like the paint came off at the extra page. Yeah, this is the gang war, not the crap they're putting out now. That's what you want to read. I love that little photo.
Yeah, the second gang war was good. I don't know if they went past that or not.
Hammerhead. Aunt May with a gun. So, yeah, I said I love the Marvel Tales stuff. It's
Aunt May.
It's a cheaper version of trying to buy the individual issues of the original.
Mm-hmm. No kidding.
I can get it, yeah. Yep. Some more. So, yeah, some of these villains you're not going to see ever again. And then we get into,
yeah, that Marvel Tales you just showed, that storyline was recycled from the first Spectacular Spider-Man magazine. They worked it into some stories in the 1-teens.
So, I believe this is I'm not sure this is the Lee Simonson right in this. There's Grumman and Breeding on the cover. So this.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the cheap games like that, and then some of them get the flip books. They're probably like the most cheapest gimmicks ever is, but I like them. So. And then we get into something really cool.
Nice.
And I think this was only a one shot, or was there more of these? I can't remember. This is through Moonstone.
Yeah, that's why I found a Night Stalker or Night Strangler comic that was basically line for line that they did.
Yeah.
I liked the Vigilante.
He was better when they had a girl on the cover. No. Yeah.
Alan Moore wrote 2 issues of that series.
I remember buying that off the rack, really liking it.
It was good.
I have them in the Alan Moore Across the DC Universe trade paperback.
So like try to grab these when I can, because I'm going through the League of Comic Geeks and I'm just adding them in there. Superman is just like a nightmare. It's like you have 400 more to go. I'm like, oh, I grabbed like 80 of them, and it's like I still have like 600. It's like are you kidding me? Yeah, I love vigilante stuff. Paul Kupperberg is really cool. He's on Twitter. You can talk to him. We don't agree on politics, but he's very civil. And then
well, next time you talk to him, ask him if he's the Kupperberg that Neil Adams hated, because he said he hated 3 people in his life. You know, Donald Trump, I can't remember who the other one was, and one of the Kupperbergs. Oh, yes, it was Trump, Hitler, and one of the Kupperbergs.
Wow.
Maybe Kupperberg's wife? I don't know.
I'd just love to know which Kupperberg pissed him off to that degree.
Yeah. That's what I said. These are recently, I just got these with them the last month. I just love Superboy stuff. I'm just collecting these. I'm not sure if they ever did trades of these, but I'd like to grab them in trades too.
Well, you've already got number 9. It would be cheaper to just get the issues at this point.
I know, right?
Dollar fodder.
I cleaned up my shops. 9 was the last one they had at the shop. That was like a $70 book they had.
Is that the one with the shark?
Yeah. First King Shark.
Ooh, Worlds Collide. I remember that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was a cool story.
Let me get into Water Grave. So I got enough for another round, so I can pause if you want. But yeah, he said I like that. Okay. I'll pause right here.
We'll cut it short here in about 4 minutes. So show a few more that you really want to show, and go ahead and
all right,
do it to it.
Well, I'm glad we're getting here because
yeah. These are inside jokes, folks.
I mean, it's not the best costumes for Wonder Man, you know.
We all know which one that is.
He's got to have the green and the red. The one he got from Baron Zemo, the guy who has a sock on his head.
I say that both Wonder Man and the Beast are villains now in Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah.
They brought him back.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they had a whole issue about how it wasn't going to happen. The funeral was for real. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, Marvel stopped publishing in 2012, so it doesn't matter.
I thought it was 93 for me.
So I can stop right here because I still have a whole bunch.
Okay.
I didn't know how many to bring, so
Oh.
I'll stop right here.
Mr. RDV did very well. And for Joe, it is 238. It's Voodoo Hoodoo.
Thank you.
And you see this little guy with the walnut for a hat. He got injected by the zombie. And so the similar fate is going to happen to Donald because of the case of mistaken identity. So it's 238. It's also available in one of the Gladstone albums.
Oh, okay.
So if you want that, it's album 16. So
is it 238? Is that a 4-color or is that just
4-color 238?
All right, thank you.
So this is probably Donald Duck number 17. I don't know. It's one of but
238. I'm gonna look for it. I like when they connect like that, over the years. Yeah.
It's easy to remember the title, Voodoo Hoodoo. So
okay. Thank you.
Sure. And thank you, Froggy, for adding to the show. Very nicely done.
No problem. Whenever I can fill in for 2 fossils, that's good.
Now you probably filled in for about 4 or 5, really. All right.
You got to remember, Vengman, you're showing stuff that seemed new to you, but some of the people on this show have been out of new comics for so long that this is as new to them as some of the stuff everybody else was showing was to you.
Yeah, it's also new to them because they're if you're just getting into comic books, I got into comic books from 2003, 2004.
Yeah,
I read the 2000 stuff. Now that I'm in my mid to late 30s, I say mid because it's like 2 more until I'm 40. But I really started going back and reading a lot of the 80s stuff. Before, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I'd be like, John Byrne? I don't care about John Byrne. I'm reading the new stuff, Luckily, I never said I'm reading Jason Aaron over John Byrne.
Yeah,
You can put me down there.
Well, let me answer Jackson. Marvel was the first with continuity. Disney didn't have continuity. The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck was made by Don Rosa in the 1990s.
yeah.
So those didn't come out in the 4 colors. They're more recent, and because Don Rosa attempted to do a full chronology of what Karl Barks had done, he wanted to add to those stories specifically. Disney didn't really have continuity, except in the Italian comics.
Yeah,
because there are a few mentions in the early Paperini stories of him mentioning stuff that happened before, but they were meant to be throwaway mentions. It's not that you need to read one story and then it goes on.
So for comic book curator or Jackson Roy Kirk, whenever Karl Barks in the 50s would drop a detail about Scrooge saying, "Oh, I sold ice cream to Eskimos in 1892," or he worked on the railroad or the steamboats in Mississippi, Don Rosa went through and tried to make a timeline based on all these just meaningless throwaway. Karl Barks never thought anybody was going to write all that down and make a lifetime story of it. And so Don did his best to do it. So probably picking and choosing certain details to highlight and maybe avoid pretty good. It's pretty good effort though. Go ahead, RDB.
I was just going to say, I do like his root beer.
Yeah.
Parks?
Yeah,
no, Breen, if you do, I saw you had this. I'll trade.
I bet you would.
No, that Spider-Woman run. I was never a big fan of Steve Leialoha, but now when I reread those stories by Claremont that he drew for Claremont, I'm actually enjoying the art style now.
I never knew she was British. I never knew it because she's American and from 2000 up. So I just so weird. She had Merlin in her story at one point.
Yeah, I think they've retconned all that out of her origin because her origin's been done several times. But
now she's friends with Carol.
Of course she is.
Well, she saved Carol in Avengers Annual number 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she did. Which I'm sure that no writer remembers that Marvel.
Yeah,
I like how Paulo. If you probably noticed this, you look at Wolverine. I like how he's grown over the years, getting taller and taller to the comic books.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, reading those early X-Men, seeing how small he was, I was like, what?
Yeah, exactly. No, I remember during the Dark Phoenix saga when they meet Kitty for the first time, and then they get captured by the Hellfire Club, and then Kitty goes in to save them. And man, Wolverine is I'm almost as tall as Wolverine, but he weighs a ton. Wow. And Kitty's 13, and she's never been very tall.
Yeah, I can't believe that they had the original Claremont came back and wrote a follow up to the Kitty Pryde miniseries. That was kind of cool. These extreme. Then he did the Extreme X-Men again.
Has any character just fallen so far in the last 30 years than Kitty Pryde?
Captain America.
Yeah. Well, at least Captain America's on the incline again.
Yeah. I mean,
I really don't know how they can save Kitty. The X-Men are unpublishable right now.
You know, like I said, if you see that team picture that Juggernaut's a part of, you will see how right you are.
so they must have brought them back where they didn't die, because remember the Hellfire Gala, they all were killed by Duggan. Duggan just killed all of them on that. So I don't know. It's like that's the last issue I watched or read. And I was watching people's reactions to people who are like real fans. It's like, I can't believe they killed these characters off. Like, I can't believe that you care about these characters. It's like the 10th version of them.
Teeny, Leah, and Danny and Vita killed them off years ago.
I mean, when they become pod people, you can just hatch them out of another egg. What's the point? You know?
Well, at least we have to worry. You know, another generation or two, there won't be any more X-Men because there's nobody. There are no heterosexuals left to reproduce.
Well, it'll be Inhumans, right?
No, it won't. Not again.
I mean, it was like Inhumans. I remember one of the stories they had a release of Terrigen Mist that like kills all the mutants.
Yeah, but doesn't.
That
doesn't make. When they did that storyline, it didn't make any sense because Quicksilver had been when he was in Adeline. I think he was exposed to the mist once, and nothing happened to him. Or did he lose his powers?
Nothing makes sense in comic books anymore. Like I said, that Superman book that came out today, Return to Superman, that has probably been one of the best books I've read, in a while. And then especially for Superman.
That, like I said, like I told you in that text, that made me as angry as I enjoyed it, because it made me realize that they are still capable of doing stuff like that when they let the people with talent come back and do one.
Right.
But then they would rather let, ass licks like Tim Sheridan destroy the JSA and Alan Scott. And that's what it's sad.
These are
you
great.
Can argue, yes, and you can argue over, like I said, your cutoff was 93.
Yeah.
Comic Curator was 86. But I also think it may have ended for him, but I don't think you can deny that the first 10 or so years post-crisis DC were excellent comics.
Yes.
And there are some good stuff. It's just, it's very hard to find anything worth a damn coming out of the big two in 2023.
87 to 97 for DC. DC was on fire. Read the books. Almost every book they're putting out was a banger. I like them. And you had every character was getting love, and it was they were being appreciated.
I mean, I can see that. If your thing was the Silver Age, Golden Silver Age, and Bronze Age, what DC was doing, because Ken's kind of the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of felt as a reader that I was ready for these characters to grow. I'm always going to have the stories prior to that to go back and enjoy, but I liked seeing the characters grow and change. That's why I love the Superman version, post-crisis, better than anything else. But I don't, I can see why people feel the way they do. But I think one thing we can all agree on now are modern comics suck.
Yeah.
Remember when your boys acted the video, we need to fire all the women and then I don't think he goes far enough. I want to fire everyone, shut down Marvel's publishing division, license it, and open a sweatshop in Brazil where the stories will be made.
Yeah, Jackson, I wasn't talking about indies across the board when I say that. I'm basically reserving that for the big two. There are still some good indie books coming out, and that Lord of the Jungle, if anybody hasn't checked that out,
Lord of the Jungle,
recommend it.
I'll back that up too. I am not a huge Tarzan fan, but I love that Dan Jurgens, who's also the writer for the postcards to Superman when it came out today, coming back around, and the guy understands it. You had almost looked like Sal Buscema art, but it wasn't.
John.
Yeah. And then if you could look at Titan Comics, they had Conan the Barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
So that was by Jim Zub, and that was really good too.
With art by Rob De La Torre, who did this French Tarzan.
Nice. I want you to read it to me and translate it.
Read me a story, Uncle Paulo.
We'll read it on the channel.
Yeah, I noticed that Paulo hasn't come back for more abuse since that one night.
I actually didn't have the opportunity, but I'll come back. Let's see. Here's Tarzan eating at a cafe, and drawn by Rob Della Torre is much better than when we have coffee shop scenes nowadays.
You sure it wasn't Mariko Tamaki?
Yeah, Mariko Tamaki found her way into this live stream.
No. But see, here's the guy who emulates John Buscema and Joe Kubert, and he knows how to draw people eating at a cafe.
By the way, I meant to mention this because when the Punisher book was shown earlier, I found an issue of a 6-part story from Punisher Warzone that I'd completely forgotten. It was Chuck Dixon and Joe Kubert. Now I really want to read all 6 of those because I don't think I appreciated it in the 90s when it came out, but I'd love to read that again.
I got to go back and finish reading Airboy, Chuck Dixon. So I'm really liking that.
Well, I didn't realize that Joe Kubert had ever drawn for Marvel until, I guess I didn't notice while he was.
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of war stories back in the 1950s at Atlas, but he wasn't a regular yet.
See, my problem is there's so many I want to read. I want to read Two and Dracula, Where by Night. And Eric's like, "Hey, do you check this out?" I'm like, "Stop showing me books, Eric."
But hey, look at it this way. Unlike a few of us, myself especially, you're young. You have time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but if you actually want to try Tarzan, you may not have been impressed what you've seen so far, but in the 90s, both Dark Horse and Malibu Comics had the rights to Tarzan, and both of them produced some very interesting storylines. There are trade paperbacks of it, old ones, but if you can find any, but the comics should be cheap. I mean, nobody's actually going after them.
Yeah,
I actually think the Marvel and DC versions of Tarzan were pretty good.
Yeah, last year I got one of those Charlton Peacekeepers, books or one of the issues, and I just like it's so hokey, but I love it. I love the early Charlton stuff. Just discovering all this stuff. Airboy, what was Alter Ego by Roy Thomas? I mean, I just love that kind of school.
Gentlemen, let me cut in here real quick because I don't know if our guest needs to depart. It's a great conversation and it can stay, but I just wanted to give Joe the opportunity if he was getting a little blurry-eyed. So Joe,
poor choice of words there.
Yeah, I wrote down the number of the 4-color in your Instagram, so you'll have a record of it.
All right, and that other one, that comic album.
I wrote it down too. So.
That's bigger than a comic book, right? That's like a magazine size or something.
Yeah,
it's these are bigger.
Yeah,
they're bigger than magazines.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Joe, good to see you. Great stuff.
Right. Take care.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
Nice meeting you.
And you guys can wrap this up. We'll probably pull the plug here in about a minute.
All these dark terms.
Oh yeah. Well, we're used to doing serious conversations over here.
I guess so. Pulling the plug.
We're not talking about pixel fingers and stuff over here. We get down to where the rubber meets the road. So.
Well, you know who brings it up? That's not me. That's the guy to the right of me.
Yeah.
I know I'm a bad influence on him.
Too much serious around here.
Yeah.
More than 5 minutes. I had an interesting experience with Chris Claremont comics because the translated editions they had to, because of space considerations, they had to take. When you translate from English into a Latin language, you have more words. So some dialogues were removed. The stories are still very good. And then the first time I see an actual Chris Claremont story in English, and what is this wall of text doing here?
You want a comic book that lasts more than 5 minutes? Fantastic Four Annual number 1. Eric can attest to that.
We're still reading that, aren't we? It was like hour number 241.
Yeah, I think I left a comment in that video. When are you guys? Why do you guys take so long?
Never.
Or something?
It's the only time I could say that the Geeky Puppet Show reading should have come with an intermission like the old 3-hour movies.
You know, though, the best part about being is you're watching it and seeing Eric and Trusty complain. It's too long. It's like I'm having breakfast now. It's like they're complaining and they're just goofing off. Is like that. If you're a listener, that to me is entertaining for me watching a live stream.
Oh, I said, yeah, I can just watch Trusty and just imagine what he's doing behind his avatar. By the way, Micah, I mentioned Zach Gallen. He took a no-hitter into the 7th and then turned into Zach Gallen.
Oh,
so it's Texas up 1-0, but
well,
I have no idea what you just said.
baseball.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Coach
all right,
Hollers,
okay. Now,
Margaret Thatcher.
Baseball.
baseball
You know
is
what's
kind of
more-
like car racing because when they run around the bases, they keep making left turns.
No. Baseball is like it's like golf, but it makes you want to sleep.
Baseball is for guys who can't rough it and play football.
Baseball is better than golf, but I'm a football guy, so
George Carlin said it best: baseball, football. I
yeah,
love that
that's
skit.
a classic routine. Yeah.
Well, and that's because George Carlin never tried to hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the rain.
He's
No,
not. Well,
that's
he's
the
never
reason
got.
why they don't play it. That's because
He's never got
those
beaten by a
those are-
ball.
those are projectiles.
I saw who it was a recent game, but a guy got hit by like 104-mile baseball, the side or something like that. Or actually, it was the inner thigh. That's what it was. And he just walked it off. I'm just thinking, like, walk it out. Give me a stretcher. I ain't getting up. This
So far, unbelievably, only one player has ever died on the field during a game, and that was over 100 years ago. But a coach was killed in a game getting hit with a line drive. One of the base coaches.
in the face.
I
disagree that baseball is the American sport. It's midget wrestling.
You're not going to get any argument here.
The American sport is going to the bar. No one's watching the sports. They're just drinking.
To watch
Well, no one's
midget
watching
wrestling.
this World Series. Have you seen the ratings for it? Holy!
Eric will appreciate this. I came across the video of the guy that he could pitch left and right-handed, and one time he started left, and then he found out that the batter was going to be a switch hitter, so all of a sudden he's going to pitch right, and so the batter decided to go on the other side of for the next pitch, and so the pitcher changed, and this went on and on and on, and they finally made a rule against the guy. You have to pick one to start, and to me, I would watch that all day long, them going back and forth. I don't want that rule. I want to see the just frustration on the batter or the pitcher, but that's just me. But
Yeah, I couldn't imagine what it'd be like to. I mean, I can do some things right-handed. Throwing is not one of them.
Yeah,
and I just couldn't imagine being adept enough to do it with either hand to on that level. I mean, because I think that was that like high minors, or was that actually in the majors? I can't remember.
I didn't recall that detail, but I thought
mean,
that's such a rarity. Let the guy do it.
Yeah.
No one's going to try it except this guy. Maybe another 30 years somebody try it. But it's such a phenomenon. I want to see it. But anyway, they made a whole rule for something that's not going to happen. So many years.
Yes, I mean, there have been pitchers, professional pitchers. Yeah, the one that could throw with either hand, and there's been a major league pitcher that doesn't have one of his hands.
No.
So I'm just how I'm not sure which is more impressive. Yeah, comic book curator. We have 20 people watching this, which is comparable to the World Series ratings.
And while you're here, check out the Geeky Puppet Show.
I've spoken to the curator. I'd like to have him on sometime. It's just
That'd be cool.
He's got to work out some logistics with his camera, I believe. But yeah, he has some great stuff too. Box after box, just one after another, just pulling it. Great videos he has on Instagram.
Just Blazers all.
Well, like good runs that you think, wow, somebody took the time to put all them in. Yeah,
Nice.
I like it. And on that note, we'll probably go ahead and, as RDB doesn't want me to say, we will discontinue the broadcast. So, in a friendly way. So,
It's already half off.
until next week, we invite you to return to this channel at the same time, and we will have Horror Mike, and who knows who else will join us. So, until then, happy drawing.
Good night, kids.
Yeah.